Welcome back to week 3 of my no-code app development journey. This is the weekly recap where I'm going to go over what I've been up to this week. So this week was a little bit different to some of the previous weeks in that I was less focused on going through some of the building side of it, and I was more learning and understanding what was possible within the frameworks that I've chosen. So for example, I have made sort of a discovery around how BuildShip works and what it's capable of. That makes me think that a lot of the external coding and external proxy type stuff that I've been trying to figure out before may not actually be as necessary as I thought it was. So yeah, that's what I'm going to be covering this week. So as I may have mentioned last week, I was in talks with some of the service providers online who rent out proxies and let you run code on those in order to manage the web scraping side of things. And that's how I thought I was going to be running the web scraping for my application. However, when I went and had a call with somebody from BuildShip who was helping me explore some of the functions and, get my head around how a lot of the things work there, because I was having a bit of difficulty with it as a non-coder, he sort of identified that BuildShip is actually capable of doing that web scraping, one, without an external sort of provider being set up as another step in the process, so that is good for simplification, and two, sort of instantly when the user requests it, rather than constantly updating and having to do that all the time. There will be an element of that, but even so, it can be run independently in BuildShip without a third party managing that, so that will be good for efficiency and keeping costs low. So I'm in the process of reworking the way the site works at the moment in collaboration with somebody from BuildShip who's been helping me. Well, not somebody from BuildShip, somebody who knows BuildShip well, who will be helping me to do that. I'm trying to understand it a bit more, but it's still sort of eluding me. There's so many little, there are some fundamental things that I'm getting a hang of, but each individual node within BuildShip also has its own little intricacies that take a little bit of time to work out. So yeah, that's what I'm working through at the moment. So the next step that I will be doing for the website is trying to learn more about all of these different processes within BuildShip, but then also specifically what I want to figure out is how do I submit the request to Firestore? And there's a whole other question around making Firestore usable and accessible, and I need to work that out. But anyway, getting the information from Firestore that I need, and then how do I update that and plug it into the application, which will be done through Flutterflow on the front end. So I think theoretically I understand how it works, or strategically I understand how it works, and I even know how some nodes fit into the front end with Flutterflow, but there are some nodes, so for example, the one that I'm working with now is the Firestore query collection, and try as I might, and I've been on the Discord asking questions and things as well, try as I might, I can't get it to spit out a good result. So I think that, I'm just going to keep learning and keep testing and get some support from this individual who's been helping me, and hopefully we will have it running in no time. And if things are good in a couple of weeks, we've got all of the individual processes down and they're linking well to Flutterflow, then I would like to start testing with more information. How can we transcribe the data that's coming in and put that into Firestore and have it be an organically growing database? I'm sure that will make its own issues that I'll have to deal with at the time as well, but for now, that's the goal over the next couple of weeks, I think. It's also sort of brought to the front for me a bit of a concern that I have around everything that I'm doing at school as well. So the way that I'd imagine things in school is that I sort of build the classes up as I go based around what I'm learning and what I'm doing and what's working. But I think that for some of them, particularly around the more technical aspects like BuildShip and maybe with Flutterflow as well, and things with like Firestore and all that sort of stuff, Google Business and things, it might be a case more of just documenting for the time being and then getting to the end once I understand how everything works end to end, and then, going back and trying to document all the individual steps from the end. Because I think at the moment, some of the things I can understand fine, and some of the things are quite intuitive for me, like UI UX design, not particularly complicated. there are just important principles that you have to put into it. Flutterflow, a lot of the design stuff isn't particularly complicated. Where there are just some intricacies around the integration and stuff like that. But yeah, with this BuildShip stuff in particular, I think maybe I will need to get to the end, and then once I understand how it all works, then I can make guides that bring it all together. So that will be it for this week. I think this one was probably a bit shorter than the usual recaps. I say usual, even though this is number 3. But yeah, if you're interested in seeing how it goes, interested in learning yourself, or you're building your own app, interested in no-code app development, follow along with the channel, and I'll be doing weekly updates. I've fallen off a little bit in terms of the daily shorts videos and things like that, but I think where I am at the moment, I just want to commit more to actually working on the development than necessarily a lot of the, pitching stuff on YouTube. So that will pick up again a bit later once I, get to a more finished state of the product, and it's about communicating it to people that it exists and, getting feedback. So I will catch you next week.